Students, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yes.
So what is happening in this case? In quadratic probing, you create the hash node of the key, and what you do, a hash node contains the key, and then you create a hash table of a particular size, and then you initialize every object of the hash table to null. Then what you do, you calculate the index give using some hash function. So the hash function here we are using is key is equal to data modulo size, which is division modulo method. And अगर वो index free नहीं है या it is already it is stored, you need not continue the loop. So what, unless and until you store it or the data is not available, you find a free space. So the free space matlab you have to have an empty bucket, and if the empty bucket isn't empty, kya karte, you recompute it using hash key plus I square mode size. एंड जो इंडेक्स आपको मिलते फिर से यू डू द प्रोसेस, यू चेक वेदर द इंडेक्स इज फ्री or it is you have already placed the key. If you have not done that, then again the process is repeated with another I value. If the bucket is free, you store the value, and that's how the entire algorithm runs. So I hope it is clear to all. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, fine. Okay. So this is how you can see index 90 goes to index 0. Okay. Then what happened? Okay, 37. You can look at the main part. Index 37. 37 will go to index 7. So you can check 37 in the output. It has gone to index 7. Then you have 90. 90 will go to index 0. Then you have 55, which has gone to index 5. You have 22, which has gone to index 2. Then you have 17, but since 7 is already there, you do 17 plus 1 square mode size, which gives you 8. So that is why 17 is placed in index 8. Then you have 49, where it is placed in index 9. And 87 is not visible here, so you know how it is to be done. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I've given 2 questions which you will have to do it as homework and show it to me in the next class. So now going to the next kind of, hashing, open addressing. So this is the third type which comes under open addressing. It is called double hashing. Okay. That means we'll use 2 hash functions here. Okay. So whenever collision occurs, we will have to apply another hash function. In the previous case, it was just, you're incrementing the key in some manner and finding a new hash, index where the index is free. But यहाँ पे कैसे है? You are using another hash function entirely. You can see it over here. So the second hash function is applied when the collision occurs. You get the number of positions from the point of collision. मतलब यहाँ पे index नहीं मिलते, कितने, how many searches or how many passes you have to do. That is obtained after doing double hashing. Previous case में जैसे second hash apply करते you get the new index value, but here you get the number or count of positions you have to move from the current position. वो मिलते हैं. I'll show you an example which will make you understand better. But 2 points आपको याद रखना पड़ेगा. It should not evaluate to 0, and you have to make sure that all the cells are probbed. So the formula is given here. Key mode table size is the original hash key, and if a collision occurs, you will do m minus key mode m. So m should be a prime number smaller than the size of the table. Is it clear? Have you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
I you an example. I'll show you an example, but just note the formula down. It is M minus key mode M. Size table size नहीं, it is key mode M. और M क्या है? M is a prime number smaller than the size of the table. Okay, so I'll show you an example, then you will understand it. Now look at this example. Can you see the screen? Can you all see the screen?
Yes.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Okay, just wait. It might be due to some internet problem. You'll get to see. What about others? Can you see the screen?
No, ma'am.
Yes.
No, ma'am.
No. Now can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So what you see, पहले insert 76 है. Okay, so 76. Now here we are doing mode 7 instead of why mode 7? Can somebody tell me why we are doing mode 7 instead of mode 10 here? कोई बता सकते हैं?
Prime number.
Prime number.
No,
It is a prime
not
Less
prime
than.
number. First, size of the table is 7, 0 to 6. Prime number कब use करते हैं? जब collision occur. Please keep that in mind, okay? So here we are using mode 7 because the table size is 7. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we are inserting 76. So 76 modulo 7 gives you 6. So 76 is placed in index 6. I hope that is clear to all. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now insert 93. So 93 modulo 7 is equal to 2. So 93 is placed in index 2. Then you have 40. 40 modulo 7 gives you 5. So 40 is placed in index 5. Then you have 47. So 47 modulo 7 gives you 5. But 5 में already 40 है, right? So you have to do the second hashing. So what is second hashing? You have to take, what is the formula of second hashing? M minus key modulo M, where M is the prime number smaller than the size of the table. So size of the table 7 है, तो smaller prime number क्या है?
5.
5. So it is 5 minus 47 modulo 5, which gives you 3. So 47 has to be placed in index. It will not be placed in index 3. Remember what did I say? In this method, you have to count the number of steps. So count the number of steps from the current position. Actual position क्या है? 5 है. But 5 में हम place नहीं कर सकते. So you will count. You got 3. So you have to count the number of position from the actual position. So 1 comes in index 6. 2 comes in index 0 and 3 comes in index 1. So 47 is placed in index 1. समझ में आया क्या?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So यहाँ पे difference क्या है? Previous cases में when you do the hash function, like when you want to find the next available space, you used to find the index directly, but here you are finding the number of steps from the current position. I hope it's clear to all. Is there anybody who didn't understand this part? तो 47 index 1 में क्यों place किया? Who's going to explain? 47 index 1 में क्यों place किया है?
After double hashing, we get
Yeah.
the key 3, and
Yes.
from the current position, that is 5, we count
Yeah.
3 steps. From
Yes.
index 5, we count 3, and it goes to 1.
1. Very good. So
So
that is why
it's 47
it's
option 1.
placing in index 1. Fine. Next, index insert 10. What happens? You have to place 10 You have to do 10 modulo 7, which gives you 3. So you can see 3 is available. You can directly place 10. And then you have to insert 55. 55 modulo 7 gives you 6. So 5. Now 6 is already available. No, 76 is already placed in index 6. So we have to do again a hashing. That is 5 minus 55 modulo 5 gives you 5. So from the 76th position, that is 6, you count 5. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. You get 55 placed in the index 4. Is it clear? Just count and see. From 0 index 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So 5 comes in index 4. So 55 is placed in index 4. Clear hua?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So any doubt in this?
Ma'am,
Yes.
suppose after counting the steps, we are getting again a different collision.
Yeah, I
Then
was
what
waiting
to
for
do?
that question. Yes. That time you will have to do the linear probing or quadratic probing method.
Okay.
Is it clear? Yes, I'll show you an example here. Yeah. If you can see the code over here. See, you can see hash table index equal to key current size plus plus. Can you see that else part? Can you see the algorithm?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So, and you see the new index is equal to index plus I into index 2 mode table size. That means what? You are finding index 1 and index 2. You're keeping it. But suppose index 2 is not available, you will do a linear probing method again. Is it clear? It's a combination of both. Index plus I into index 2. Saw that? Modulo table size. देखा क्या?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Calculate the next
Yes, ma'am.
index equal to index 1 plus k. Saw the k? Modulo size over there we have put I over there. Saw that I?
Yes, ma'am.
And I plus plus भी कर रहे है ना? Right? So inside the while statement, can you see it? Can you are you all along with me? Can you see it? Yes. While 1, get the new index. So we are doing index 1 plus k modulo size. We are doing that. But then if collision doesn't occur, you place the key. You place the key. But if collision occurs, then what happens? You have to find the next part, right? So that's how it works. Is it clear? Is it clear to the person who asked? Doubt? समझ में आया क्या?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So yes, of course, that can happen. That time you will have to use. So that is why it's called double hashing. मतलब the 2 hash functions use कर रहे count करने के लिए, but नहीं हुआ तो you have to find the next. See, you count the steps and then you find the next available space. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now please go through the algorithm. Create. Like you can see, you create a hash node, then you initialize everything either with, -1 or null, and then you calculate the hash 2 key also. So you can see at the bottom the hash 1 and hash 2 calculated. If you can see, #1 int key modulo table size, and #2 int key is prime minus key mode prime. Okay, so ये prime जो है, it's already given in the header file. Whatever value it is already hash defined value is given. Otherwise, you have to use another function to find the next smallest prime number as per the table size. So यहाँ पे directly दिया है. अगर आपको पूरा automate करना पड़ेगा तो you will have to write the function for finding the prime also. Okay, then to find the new index, you wrote index plus I into index 2 mode table size. But here I indicates like if in case the second hash is not available, you will have to increment and find the next available position. Okay, so if hash table is not null, you have to go on finding a position, but if hash table is null, you place the key and you break out of the loop. So that's how it works. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Please go through the algorithm and the code, see if you understand.
Ma'am, the value of the prime would be same throughout the it's like code
Yes,
whenever
yes,
the element.
yes. That's what
Okay.
7 table size है तो 5 ही लिया ना हम. That's why I said. So suppose आपको counting steps में वो available space नहीं है, you cannot change the prime. Understood? Instead, you will do a linear probing along with this.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay? Fine, is it clear? Any doubt? Are you all going through the code? Please go through the code. Please ask if there is any doubt. Can somebody tell me what is the meaning of while one? While one किया है. Can you somebody tell me what is the meaning of while one? Yes?
It is an infinite loop.
Yeah, it's an infinite loop. So when will you break out of the loop? When you place the key in the correct bucket. Is it clear? So you see a break statement here. Hash table new index equal to key and break. Clear? Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Fine. So going to the next, I hope nobody has any doubt. Can you all try this and see at home? And if there is any doubt, please let me know. Fine. So can somebody tell me the difference between linear probing, quadratic probing, and double hashing? Who's going to tell me a difference between linear probing, quadratic probing, and double hashing? Anyone? What is the difference you see between linear probing and quadratic probing?
Linear probing, the key value formula for it is key is equal to data mod size.
Okay.
And if it is not empty, then we find the next index with the formula k is equal to key plus 1 mod size.
Key plus I बोलो. Okay, yes.
And I is 1, 2, 3, anything. And
Yeah.
in quadratic probing, the formula is key plus I square mod size.
Good. Fine. So what was the problem in linear probing? Can somebody tell me? Problem क्या था linear probing में? Anyone?
Clustering.
Yeah, clustering. So they thought of eliminating clustering by using quadratic probing and double hashing. Fine. So yes, so we can see what is the difference. You can see here, if you can see the screen, it's a comparison of linear probing, quadratic probing, and double hashing. So linear probing has the best cache performance, but it suffers from clustering. And one more advantage of linear probing, it is easy to compute. It's easy to compute, right? There is no complexity. You just have to increment the particular current key value to see if the size is available, right? You all agree with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Whereas quadratic probing lies between the two, linear probing and double hashing, means it is moderate in terms of the cache performance and clustering, like somebody told, like Kavita, I suppose, somebody told, right, that isme bhi clustering hota hai, but it is better compared to linear probing. So it's a moderate between double hashing and linear probing. Is it clear?
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, what is the meaning of cache performance?
Cache performance is like, you are storing it temporarily. You're storing it somewhere, right? So you're inserting it and then you're retrieving it. So it is like you are actually temporary storage जैसे ही work होते हैं ना? What do you mean by a cache?
Oh, raw data.
No, 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 no. Like when you read something, fine, you read something from your secondary disk, and you actually, if it is in real time, it will be in the main memory, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And if you're, you are still working with it, you keep it in you can say a cache memory, which lies between the main memory and the secondary storage, so that you can retrieve it faster.
Okay.
Okay. So, in that case, they say poor cache performance and, best cache performance in the case why? Because see, the size, you are keeping it somewhere, you're storing it somewhere as per, the expectation that you're going to read it again. Understood? So suppose
Yes,
you
ma'am.
don't read it again, you are, killing that space, and that particular data will get replaced later on by some other data. Right. So
Yes, ma'am.
that's what is called, that's how they evaluate if whether it is best. Matlab, when you search, if it is available in the cache, you get a hit. Otherwise, you get a miss. Okay. So that is what it's all about, memory management and stuff based on the complexity of time, complexity, how much time you retrieve a data. Okay. So that's why they're saying it's a best cache performance and poor cache performance. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What about others? Okay. Any doubt for others?
Ma'am, actually, talking about the clustering, so ma'am, can we say that in chaining also it occurs because most of these spaces have been empty as we are forming the linked list.
Yeah, but in chaining, what happens? It's not clustering actually. You are actually increasing, one block is linked to many linked list, right? You are actually creating another data structure. I'm coming to that part. I'll tell you the advantages and disadvantage of chaining. I missed out in the previous class. It's not actually clustering. You are not, you are actually placing the data in the original index, right? Fine. Yes, some
Yes,
part of
ma'am.
the array is empty. That is also true. But what besides clustering, something else is also happening. You are creating an additional data structure which is linked to one particular block.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, an additional, you are creating links for that. So that is another, here we are not comparing it. Why? Because the methodology of chaining is different over there, right? We are using a linked list along with an array. Here, we are not using any other data structure. We are just using an array and we are placing it in the available buckets. That's why we are just comparing the clustering between linear probing, double hashing, and quadratic probing. Over there, of course, clustering happens, but clustering happens in another way. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What about others? Is it clear? Yeah, what is the problem with double hashing? You have to compute 2 times. 2 hash functions have to be done. And yeah, in the previous case, linear and quadratic probing, mein, you calculate the hash function, but you are getting the index directly. But in double hashing, you're not getting the index. Instead, you're getting the number of steps you have to skip to get the next available index. So it's, on here computation is increasing compared to linear probing and quadratic probing. So that is the problem in double hashing. But there is no clustering. They claim that there is no clustering as compared to linear probing and quadratic probing. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So is it clear to all others who are keeping silent? Is everything clear? Am I making sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
fine.
ma'am.
Okay. Yes, these are the disadvantages and advantages of open hashing. Like I told you, we'll have to discuss that. Open hashing, open addressing, closed hashing में आते हैं, and open hashing में chaining or separate chaining. So we didn't discuss that. So chaining में advantages क्या है? Simple to implement, right? We didn't use another hash function. Did we use another hash function? Remember chaining?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, over there, did we use another hash function? If the index was not available, what did we do? Can somebody tell me?
Ma'am, we were just forming the link in the form of connecting to the next node.
Yeah, so it like compared, it's simple to implement. Hash table never fills up, right? In linear probing, when you did it at home, there was an overflow because there was no space in the hash table. Right or wrong?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, overflow occur किया क्योंकि table size, the list of elements 12 था, table size 10 था, तो 2 elements were not fitting into the table. But in in open hashing, since when collision occurs, we are making linked list, your table doesn't get filled up. You'll agree with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because you can add more elements as in chain. Then it is less sensitive to hash function or load factors. I'll tell you what a load factor is in the coming slide. Then it's mostly used when it is unknown how many and how frequently keys may be inserted or deleted. So when you don't know, or when you previously have no idea ki how many frequency at what frequency you're going to insert and delete keys, that time you use separate chaining. Is it clear? So these are the advantages of separate chaining or open hashing, and disadvantages like said cache performance of chaining is not good as keys are stored using linked list. You have to search instead of searching just traversing the array. You have to secondarily traverse the linked list also. So the performance is not that good. Open addressing provides better cache performance as everything is stored in the same table. So do you agree with that? Understand what? वो
Yes, ma'am.
समझ में आया क्या वो स्टेटमेंट कि सेपरेट चेनिंग में कैसे है अरे भी ट्रैवर्स करना है एवरी बकेट ऑफ द अरे हैज टू बी ट्रैवर्स्ड एज वेल एज if there is collision you are creating linked list for each bucket. So you are traversing the array as well as you are traversing the linked list. So as in the form of performance, separate chaining is not that good. Why? Because in open addressing you're just traversing the array. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then wastage of space. Some parts of the hash table are never used, as you said, or somebody said here, right? Some parts of the hash table are never used, like clustering problem. Yes. So if there is wastage of space, because whenever collision happens, you're going and linking nodes instead of finding the next available space. Then if the chain becomes long, then the search time becomes big O of n, which is a worst case. Because if you are going, like everything is input in index 1, what happens? You are going and traversing the linked list. So it's going to be a worst case and uses extra space for links. So that is a disadvantage. So I hope you all have understood. Please go through each statement, see if you understand and you agree with it. Is it clear? Yes,
Yes,
students?
Ma'am,
Yes,
can you
ma'am.
explain the fourth point of the advantages? It is mostly used when it is unknown.
Yeah, like you don't know. See, when there is, particular, like I have so many keys and you know how many times you are going to insert and delete. Because यहाँ पे कैसे हैं, like in open hashing, you are just working on the given hash table, right? That means अगर मेरा size 10 है, तो you know that you are going to work only on the 10 buckets. So if you have to insert, you're only going to insert into that 10 buckets. Or you're going to delete, you're going to only delete from the 10 buckets. You know that is permanent, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But whereas in chaining, as I told you, the bucket size is not a major factor because whenever collision happens, you are creating a new list. You're linking it to a new node, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So it is not depending on the size of the bucket actually. That is why it said it is used when you don't know how many insertions and deletions take place. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody else? Anything else? Clear to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is a comparison between open hashing and closed hashing or separate chaining and open addressing. So see, can you all read it? Chaining is simpler to implement and open addressing requires more computation. In chaining, hash table never fills up because you are creating chain, whereas in open addressing, there are chances for overflow. Chaining is less sensitive to hash function or load factors. I'll tell you what it is later. Here it takes extra care to avoid clustering and load factor. Chaining is mostly used when it is unknown how many and how frequently keys may be inserted or deleted. Open addressing is used when the frequency and the number of keys are known. Cache performance is not good in chaining, whereas it is better in open addressing. Wastage of space is there in chaining, and in open addressing, slot can be used even if the input doesn't map it. Why? Because you search for the next available space. In chaining, you use extra space for links, and in open addressing, there are no links. Is it clear? Please go through each line, see if it makes sense, if you've understood, and please let me know. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What about others? I want to see hear different voices. I want everybody to go through it and understand and let me know. Is it clear to all?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, so I was talking about the load factor, see point number 3, right? What is, the sensitiveness of load factors and also that comes under load factor and complexity. So you can see that The first step taken, time taken depends on the key and hash function, right? You have understood what it had says, like depending on the key, you're placing the data into the bucket. So in the first step, everything, all the time depends on the key and the hash function used. If the hash function is complex, it's going to be more difficult to find the key, or time consuming to find the key, and of course that is going to increase the complexity. So the time depends on the key and the hash function. Second step, traversal of the list, that is key value pair, where that particular key value pair is present. Like in the case of chaining, key value pair will always be present in the given index, but it might be in the form of linked list. You have to traverse the linked list, so it will be there of course in that bucket itself. But in the case of linear probing, quadratic problem, or double hashing, it might not be there in the index given. It might be there, it might be placed in another index depending on the collision time, number of times the collision had occurred. So traversal of the list of key value pairs in that index needs to be done. So that is the next complexity. So on an average, if there are n entries and b is the size of the array, n by b entries for each index, and n by b is called the load factor. Okay, and remember, load factor should be kept low. That means, you have to easily traverse it. So the load factor should be kept low so that the number of entries at one index is less, and so the complexity can be almost constant. Okay, so you have to reduce the number of collisions so that your load factor doesn't become high, or it doesn't go into an overflow. So that is what they were talking about, complexity and load factor. So the first step depends on the key and the hash function. Second step depends on the key value pairs. And the third is the load factor calculation, the number of entries divided by the size of the table. And always remember, the load factor has to be kept low. If the load factor becomes high, you have to do a rehashing. Rehashing will come in the next coming slides, which is normally done by increasing the size of the table. So that is what this line 3 means. So line 3 says chaining is less sensitive to hash function or load factors, but here extra care has to be taken for clustering and load factor. So is it clear? Is it clear, students? Are you there with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So that is what load factor says. So what is the load factor of separate chaining? They have asked many number of times. So please see, M is the number of slots or buckets in the hash table. N is the number of keys to be inserted in the hash table. So load factor is calculated as alpha is equal to N divided by M. Okay, and the time taken to search is big O of 1 plus alpha, and time taken to delete is big O of 1 plus alpha, and time taken to insert is big O of 1. Why? Because every data is placed in the same. Yes, please mute yourself. Yes, please mute yourself. Okay, time taken to insert is place this insert. The insert in the go of 1 if alpha go of. So this is how it is. The for clear. Yes, is it clear? Please for separate chaining. Students with me? Or have
Ma'am,
you all
your voice is
slept?
breaking.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you see the screen?
Ma'am.
Yes,
I'll be
ma'am.
sharing the recording right here. Fine. Okay, so this is how the load factor. So remember, the number of entries divided by the size of the table is the calculation of the load factor. And this is the formula, or this is the complexity how you find for search, delete, and insert. Okay, please note that down. Yes, please mute yourself. Whoever's- Please mute yourself. Fine. So that is a load factor for separating and the load factor for open chaining. Here the load factor should be less than 1 and expected time to search, insert and should be less than 1 by 1 minus alpha. And this is how it is done. So it should take 1 by 1 minus alpha time to search, insert and delete in the case of open addressing where alpha is the load factor. Yes. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So yes, for today this is enough. So we have discussed from quadratic probing. So I'll just revise. So quadratic probing, what did you do for quadratic probing? Instead of key plus I mode 10, whenever collision occurs, we used key plus I square mode M. Okay, so that was being done. And in double hashing, what we did is whenever a collision occurred, we had to recalculate a hash function using the nearest prime number from depending on the size of the table. So m minus key mode m is a prime number smaller than the size of the table that is being selected, and that gives you number of steps from the actual index. So that was double hashing. Then yes, you have then the difference comparison between linear probing, quadratic probing, and the double hashing. Then we talked about the disadvantages and advantages of separate chaining, which we missed out. Okay, and then we have the comparison between separate chaining and open addressing. And then we saw what a load factor and complexity depends on, and how a load factor for separate chaining is calculated, and how a load factor for open addressing is calculated. So that's it. So I expect you all to do the exercise of quadratic probing and double hashing before you come to the next session. So if there is any doubt, please ask. Yes, students, any doubt? Is it clear to all? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, please go through the PPTs. I'll be sharing it. Please practice at home. Please execute the algorithm. Check it out from by yourself with different values. Then only you will understand it better. And if there is any doubt, please come back. We'll explain it in the next session. Okay. So thank you all. I guess we can end the session for today. Yes?
Thank
Yes,
you.
Yes, ma'am.
okay, I'll share the recording later on. Fine. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you, ma'am.